Okay, everybody, I had popcorn here, it's gone. I had wine here, it's gone. And I'm just trying to recap where we were at yesterday, or last night, excuse me, when we were beginning knitting. And I had a video I just literally made, but I was coughing too badly. I'm terribly ill. And my coughing was not very flattering to the film. And it also looks like, okay, there, I got it all figured out now. Okay, so this is the previous thing I showed everyone, our cast on. And now we're gonna work the second row right here, which is the knit stitch. So you get to see it close up. I'm using circular needles, by the way. I have straights, but I don't like to use them. You can get them in different sizes, shorter wire, as well as really, really short, really, really long, depending on what kind of project you're making. Ooh, that requires that type of stitching. Okay, so I've already started on 3. Like I said, I literally just got done recording, but my throat is not handling the cold air right now. And I'm going to show you how we get these stitches onto the stitch. And when we did the video last time, we only had these, our cast on stitches on our right hook, our one hook. As soon as you have that, you flip this over, okay, and you're going to be left with nothing on this, and you're on this needle, but you're going to have 2 strands of yarn. You want to take your tail end and move it out of the way. Don't ever use it, or you're going to have a very short project. And it will probably end up on this side where it's supposed to be when you're done working on switching it over to the other needle. Okay, so let's get started. Taking the infinity yarn, taking your 2 hooks, you're going to be using these tips of your needles. And excuse me about my nails. I'm actually about to do those in a few minutes, but I had to get this video out the way. Okay, so there's your cast on stitch. This is your back post. This is your front post. There's 2 ways I think I've seen people do this, but the way that I do it, I go into the front post and go behind. Other people, they go into the back post. I don't like the way it flows. I'm not going to do it. So here we go. You take secure your yarn constantly as you're going around and you're knitting. You're pulling these away and you're scooting these closer to the edge so they can, get off one needle to get to the other. And while you're doing that, make sure that they're not sliding forward and you drop them off the hook going this way, because then you might have to start your project all over unless you have some skill and can tell which stitches go where and how to retrieve them. That's for another video. But right here, we're going to go into our behind our front stitch. Okay, notice I said, you can see it right here. That's the same front and back. We're going to go right behind the front and over the back like that. It's just straight through. Okay. You're going to take your cross edge, or however you secure your hooks. Your crochet. You're going to take your, remember, tail end and leave it out. And you're going to take your infinity strand that's connected to your ball of yarn, and I'm going to show it how it would look without me holding this necessarily. So I'm going to be holding underneath so you can get a good whip of what I'm doing here. I'm taking the yarn and I am wrapping it right around our right needle, And I'm going to show you the front, how it looks. And I'm pushing this slowly while pulling this yarn away so we can go underneath our same front hook that we went in the first place. As soon as you go through, you pull it off. And there's number 4. Boom, just like that. Now I'm going to speed that up just for a second because I want you to see. Okay, there's your 5th. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 more cast on stitches that we are going to knit stitch to this side again through the front post. What happens if you take both is that you take it off, and that's just not even something we're doing. So we're going again, if you spread them apart, go behind the front stitch, wrap your yarn around the front post in between the needles, pulling this away to secure your opposite forces. You're pulling them in opposite directions with the needle sliding, guiding the hook, if you're a beginner, to go behind the front post and pulling it off. Okay, so there we have our knit stitch, and now we have those beautiful gold braids right here in the front again. So I'm just going to finish these off. See what happens when you go forward. Take your time, hold your string back, your arm back, and do it properly. There are speed knitters who are amazing to watch. They are like lightning. I have a goal to get there one day, and hopefully you will too if you get into knitting. Now we're on the last one. Same method, right through behind the front stitch. Remember, this is the front stitch. You're just gonna go behind it, wrap your yarn around it, pull it back under that same one, pull it right off. And then you just uncurl. And there's your beautiful knit stitch. And like we did in the beginning, bring that stitch, that needle to your left side. And now we begin on the right, same way. Okay, there's our affinity string. Our tail end is on this side now because we started with the tail. And be careful. That's why you can't have it loose. You need to control your yarn. Go behind the front post. Wrap that. Drop. Just like that. And of course, the smaller yarn, worse you get, or smaller types of yarn gauge you get, and smaller gauge needles you get, your project becomes even more intricate. I hope that wasn't a blur. It said low battery, so just want to hurry up and get this done so you can see the process of me guiding around, pushing down, pulling up, and what your beautiful work will look like real quick. And you can even get really jumbo yarns, and jumbo, harder to control, but it's feasible as you go. And there it is. I'll be doing the tutorial edited video soon, but this I had to do live. I wanted to show it to you first. All right, everyone, have a good night, and cheers.